Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Coffee with Tech Lead. In this channel, I'll be sharing thoughts and experience I accumulated during my 16 years in technical leadership roles. Hopefully you'll find it useful and entertaining. Today, I'd like to tell you what are the worst type of employees and how to identify them during the interview process. Based on this video I saw at Kaizen Performance Improvement channel, there are 4 types of employees. First, we have the A employees. These are the best employees. They have great skills, great attitudes. They're the pillars of an organization. Then we have B employees. They have less skills and experience, but they have great attitudes and are willing to learn. Given time, they'll become A employees. Next, we have C employees. They have pretty good skills, but their attitudes are bad. At last, we have D employees. These employees have no skills and they have poor attitudes. So which type of these employee is the worst type? A lot of you might think, hey, it's the D employees. Well, that may be true, but these employees usually get weeded out during the interview process. And if they somehow get passed, they will not hold on to their jobs for long. So they don't create problems. The answer is actually the C employees. They'll pass your interview because of their intelligence and skills, and companies like to hold on to them. These are the characteristics of a C employee. Let me know if this looks familiar. They question a lot, but they do very little. They're difficult to motivate. They refuse to be coached. They're quick to blame others. They always have an excuse. It's because the other person's fault. Oh, the technology is bad. Something like that. Everything except it's their own fault. They're hard to get rid of. C employees knows how to walk that fine line, and managers like to cut them some slack because they're talented. So why is this bad? C employees do have good skills, right? Well, they're bad because 1, they will impact the culture of your team, causing team to fight among themselves. And worse, they make your A and B employees want to leave. 2, they drain time and resources from your team and make your team unproductive and frustrated. Mark Murphy in his book, Hire for Attitude, used the term emotion vampire because they suck the life out of you. So how do we avoid them? You need to spot them during the interview and not hire them. That is pretty difficult because C employees usually have a lot of interviewing experience. But here are a few things you can watch out for. You start with their resume. 40% of the C employees fail within 18 months. So if they do not hold on to jobs for more than a year and a half, that's a red flag. If they never work at a place for longer than 4 years, that's also a potential red flag. Longevity in a position doesn't always equals competence, but it's usually a good indicator of a positive attitude. Don't be lazy. Check references and referrals. Call up their previous employer. If you get a politically correct answer like, I have nothing to say, or this person was punctual, that usually means something is not right. And it's a small world, so it's not hard to find someone who had worked with this employee in the past. Make a few calls to dig out some scoops. Here's a tip for finding out if a candidate is a C employee. During the interview, have them confirm the full name and position of their previous supervisor. More detail the better. If you do that, they're more inclined to be honest, thinking you'll confirm this information. You can then ask questions trying to expose the candidate's attitude. Tell us about the biggest disagreement you had with your previous teammate and how was it resolved? What was the one thing you disliked about your last job and how did you handle it? And how did you do on your last performance review? Use the boss's full name to reinforce your point. What did John Smith think of your performance? Another thing you can do is listen to what words they use. Per the book, Hire for Attitude, we can determine what kind of employees they are by listening to how they talk. The A employees tend to be more fact-based with their success and accomplishments, whereas C employees like to embellish their contents with adjective and adverbs. I was excellent in this. I was always fantastic in that. Another interesting fact is A employees tend to use past tense verbs, whereas C employees will use 100% more present and future tense verbs. For example, A employees will say, I did this project. I was second in performance. I received an award in that. And C employees will say, I would have done this. What I should do is, I could have done that. You also want to find out if they're coachable. One of the reasons C employees fail is because they refuse to be coached, and thus will not improve. In the book $1 Trillion Coach, we learned that everyone can use coaching, even the brightest mind in the world. So ask the candidates if they had a coach or a mentor in the last job. Who was it? And were there improvement suggestions? What were the next steps? People that are open to coaching react well to criticism or corrections. Try to see what happens if you correct something they say and watch their response. This can be a technical or behavioral question. Do they immediately get defensive? Or are they curious and want to know what you think? Are there any other ways you can think of to identify C employees? Feel free to leave a comment below. Now, it's time for me to go drink that coffee. Bye guys.